And when you say the world has never been locked down like this, India has been locked down, what I have referred to as a draconian lockdown. This kind of lockdown I am not hearing about from anywhere else. All my friends and family living across the world have always been free to step out, to take a walk, to go and buy something they require, to go and visit someone and say hello. So in terms of the social and emotional aspects of this lockdown, they seem to have been in a much better place. I don't understand why, despite being an Asian country, we sought not to look at what was happening east, but we looked at Italy and France and Spain and the UK and subsequently the US, which are really not the right benchmarks in any sense. Whether it's by inherent immunity, temperature, demography, predisposition to thrombosis, etc. Everything that the scientists and doctors have spoken of. Even in terms of how to approach this from a medical point of view, starting with the bogey of medical infrastructure. We are all aware that there can be no medical infrastructure that can be adequate to combat something like this. We have fallen very short of disclosing facts, logic, and the truth. We stayed more towards the impervious side. We tried to implement a hard lockdown, but which was still porous. So I think we have ended up with the worst of both worlds. On the one hand, a porous virus makes sure that the porous lockdown makes sure that the virus will still exist. And as you said, it is still waiting to hit you when you unlock. So you have not solved that problem. But you have definitely decimated the economy. You flattened the wrong curve. It's not the infection curve, it's the GDP curve. Nobody will invest unless he does so with enthusiasm and confidence. तो इसमें तो कोई डाउट है नहीं. अब सवाल ये उठता है हिंदुस्तान में कि if 100 people are afraid to speak up, the first point is perhaps 90 of them anyway have something to hide. See, we must also accept that in the last few years, towards I would say UPA 2 and NDA 1, a lot of skeletons have come out of the cupboard also. So businessmen are also not doodh ka dhula hua. So and so many examples we have seen of that. So maybe, my view is a lot of people don't speak, unlike, if I may say so, somebody like my father, simply because perhaps they can't afford to speak. So it may be fear, but the question is fear of what? Maybe they have a fear of hiding something. Second, I would say there are people, and I think highly of such people who do not want to speak, who simply do not want to, because they cannot deal with the backlash that comes their way. And I think a little bit I fall into that category. There's a reason I am not on any social media. And without naming a couple of channels, I will say to you that even yesterday I had an invite from the most prominent channel that is very pro-government, if I may say so. And I refuse to be on such channels because the kind of stuff one hears on social media or the way one sees things conducted in panels on such channels, this is deeply distressing to anybody who is remotely sensitive. So I think, yes, in terms of being tolerant, in terms of being sensitive, I think India needs to mend a couple of things.